would be me, your girl, Nicole. And today, I told you guys I would be back in a little bit, and here I am. I got some new lip glosses in the mail that I told you guys I was going to show y'all, so I'm going to do that. And then we're going to talk about dealing with, living with, associating with, being related to toxic people in when you're in recovery, and how it can negatively affect your sobriety and how you're feeling about yourself and just um, overall recovery. So come on in. Don't be shy. Don't be ashamed. Um, Come on in and let's chat. Um, I hope you guys enjoyed my live from earlier this evening or today. I uploaded a live stream just to kind of set the record straight um, on everything that I'm about and what I believe in over here on my channel. I never want there to be any confusion on what I support or believe in. So come on in. Come on in. Um, I ordered 2 more of the NARS lip oils that I'm obsessed with, which I got another one of the same color is high security. And then I got this one in the color Disco Infernal. So I'm going to show it to you guys because these are my new favorite lip products, okay? So for those of you guys that don't know, my name is Nicole Ploudre. I've been sober since July 13th of 2015. I got sober after my son was taken from me by Child Protective Services. Me and my husband got sober together. We were only boyfriend and girlfriend back then. We got married in 2019. We've been together since 2012, and we have an 8-year-old going on 9-year-old son named Nathaniel. So it's Neil, Nicole, and Nate Ploudre. If y'all didn't know that. So yeah, I've been sober for almost 8 years. July will make 8 years. I just celebrated my 41st birthday in March 8th. And my husband has almost 3 years sober. So, okay. Oh yeah, I was going to show you all this. So, Disco Infernal. The reason why I love these fucking lip glosses is because they're super shiny. Okay. And they have no stickiness to them. So this one is just a really clear see-through purple. Hey Jimmy, I didn't lose my husband to drugs, honey. That was a girl that I'm friends with. Her video. My husband's in the other room. But today I uploaded a video from a lady that I follow on TikTok about Narcan, you guys. She lives in some small rinky-dink little town, and they were talking about stocking Narcan in the stores there, and they were some of the people in her town were like, that's just going to encourage people. It's okay. That's just going to encourage people to keep using, which is the stupidest fucking shit I've ever heard in my life. Oh my gosh, people are so weird. So I wanted to talk about toxic people. And what I mean by toxic, I mean people that aren't supportive of your sobriety, people that are still in active addiction. Maybe you live with your parents and they're just really hard on you and always reminding you of your past, always throwing it up in your face that you struggle with addiction. Maybe they're not supportive of you being on medication assisted treatment. That's what I'm talking about. As far as using friends and stuff like that, y'all, this is the thing, okay? Hey, what's up, KJ? Whenever you are getting sober, most important thing that you need to do is you need to change your people, okay? People, places, and things, right? And so keeping people around you that are using substances is a recipe for disaster, all right? It's what do you have in common with somebody that's using drugs when you're sober? And it's not because we think we're better than them. It's not because we don't care about them. It's not because we don't love them and want to help them. Of course, we want to help them. That's the problem, is that we don't want to see our friends struggle. We don't want to see our friends sick in addiction, you know? But the problem with that is as you're trying to save that person, okay? As you're trying to save that person from their addiction and you're newly sober, guess what's going to happen? Have you guys ever been swimming? Okay. Have you ever been swimming out in the lake and maybe you and your friends are like jumping in the deep end and being crazy and you were younger, but one of your friends doesn't know how to swim. And she jumped in the deep end and she started drowning. And so without even thinking, you jump into the deep end to save her. And so you swim out to her and she grabs a hold of you and she automatically starts pulling you under, pushing you down to hold herself up out of the water. And so she's essentially drowning you. But she's not meaning to. It's because she's afraid. She's afraid because she doesn't know how to swim. So instead of jumping in to save her yourself, you should have thrown her a life jacket, thrown her a life preserver, okay? That's what we do in recovery, okay? We don't jump in the deep end to save our friends. We throw them a life preserver, okay? We try to help them with the same resources that helped ourselves, okay? And so that's why I 100% believe in harm reduction. I do harm reduction. I give people Narcan out all the time, okay? Whenever I have extra Narcan, I give Narcan to people, right? But there's a time and a place to practice harm reduction, and it's not by having people in your home to detox. It's not by, that's not what it is, okay? It's being safe, okay? That's what harm reduction is all about, being safe. So, you don't want to be pulled down with those people. And it's not because we don't care about our friends. It's not because we forgot where we came from. None of that. Thanks, guys. It's none of that. It's not me. It's just because we are brand new. When you first get sober, you're like a newborn baby. Okay? I want you to understand something. In sobriety years, I'm only 8 years old, dude. That's a kid still. Okay, that's a kid. All right. When you are getting sober, it's like you're newborn. You have to learn how to walk again. You have to learn how to talk again. You have to learn how to live your life without the crutch of substances, without coping with drugs. When you first step out into the real world without drugs in your system okay, so it's like this. Whenever you used to go to the fair and one thing about the fair is that I love riding this one certain ride, and it's the bumper cars. Me, Neil, and Nate, we're all getting our separate bumper cars, and we'll run into each other and bump each other and have the best of times, right? When we're in active addiction, it's like we're a bumper car, and we have that bumper that anytime we run into somebody, it guards us from getting hurt, right? We have the buffer of our drug of choice between us and being damaged or hurt. That's our coping skill. And when we get sober, we no longer have that buffer. We no longer have a bumper to bounce us off of everything, right? Now, if we run out into traffic and get hit, we're going to get hurt, right? Because we don't have our drug of choice to fall back on to comfort us in our time of needs, So that's what I try to help you guys understand. Like, I will never forget where I came from. Hey, Shell, I love helping people. I love being of service to other people, but I know there's a time and a place where I can be of service and help people and be safe at the same time. So I want to talk about how you guys are doing with your family members. If any of you guys are struggling with like family members who are not supportive of your sobriety, or maybe a boyfriend or a girlfriend that is still using and you're trying to stay sober, you can stay sober no matter what, okay? You can stay sober if your boyfriend's getting high. You can stay sober if your husband's getting high. I know because I've done it. Because the only time we get high is when we want to get high. Do I advise you to go out and be boyfriends and girlfriends and one of you get sober and one of you not? Hell to the motherfucking no. It's harder. It adds more stress to the situation if you're out there and you guys are not trying to do the same thing. When me and Neil got Nathaniel taken away from us, we had a come to Jesus meeting. We sat down and it was like this: are you willing to do whatever it takes to get our son back? And I said yes. And I asked him, are you willing to do whatever it takes to get our son back? And he said yes. And I said, okay, let's do this. And we fought like hell. And we were both on the same page. So neither one of us was going to drag the other person down. You know, we had to fight. We had to fight for our son. And so if you're somebody who is like hearing all the bullshit that people say about, oh, you can't get sober if you're in a relationship, that just won't work. That's not true. You can. It's just a little bit more difficult than it would be if you were only worrying about yourself. When I was in treatment, because I was so worried about my husband on the outside, they made it to where I couldn't talk to him. They banned me from calling him because it was stressing me out, you know? It was stressing me out. I was thinking about him the whole time, about if he was staying sober, if he was seeing our son, because it was so hard for me. I had to not see my son for the last 2 weeks I was in treatment, because I couldn't focus on my treatment. I was hysterical. I couldn't stop crying. Every time we would visit my son, I would be in tears. And it was so bad that Nathaniel didn't want to come to me, y'all, because I was crying so much. It was scaring him because I couldn't get it together, because I was so upset that I fucked up and got my son taken from me. Somebody commented on my video and they said something about, if you weren't taking care of your son, you deserve to get your son taken away, something like that. And I want people to understand something. I lived with my mother and father-in-law. My son was taken care of by my mother and father-in-law. The reason my son got taken away is because I didn't have a prescription for the pills that I was taking. My husband had a prescription for the pills he was taking. Okay, there was no neglect, there was no beating, there was no starving, there was no drugs around the baby. My son was with his Gigi and Papa. Okay, they formed a case on me because my dumb ass opened my mouth and told them my whole life history, because I thought they were there to help me. Okay, I thought that they were there to help me, so I told them that I struggled with drug addiction and I wanted to get sober and I needed help, which was probably the worst thing I could have done, because CPS is not there to help you. They're trying to take your son. They're trying to take your kid. That's what they're there to do. So anyway, and then another person commented lately and said, because I say that my son saved my life, they said that my son shouldn't have to carry that responsibility. It's not a responsibility. He saved my life. He quite literally saved my life. My son being born and me loving him changed my life forever, because I didn't love myself. I didn't give a fuck about me. I had never loved myself. That's why I was stuck so deep in my active addiction. Okay? So whenever my son got taken away, it woke me up, because I loved my son. Okay? I loved my son and I loved him enough to fight for him. And that was my motivation for getting sober. I always think it's kind of crazy how people will take what I say out of context or misconstrue it in some way. And that's what I mean. A lot of people will tell you, they'll say, you can't get sober for anybody but yourself. Lies from the pit of hell. Okay? Yeah, you can get sober for somebody else. Now, can you maintain sobriety for somebody else? I don't know, maybe for a little bit. I know I did for a while, until I learned that I wanted to be sober for me. Okay? I got sober because of my son. Strictly because of my son. Okay? I wanted to change my life, and so did my husband. He wanted to change his too. Okay? But we didn't know how to. All right? So we used our son as motivation to get change, to make change. And that's how it stuck, was because we would use our son as a way to say, okay, we got to keep going. We're fighting for Nathaniel. You know, you can do anything you put your mind to. You can get sober any way you decide to get sober. You don't have to do it the traditional way. You don't have to go into rehab to get sober. You can literally get sober at your house on your own without rehab, you know. I don't work for a rehab. A lot of people, for some reason, they have a misconception. They think that I work for a rehab, and I don't. I work for a doctor's office that does detoxes and MAT treatment, okay? But I don't get paid to put people into treatment. Now, I will tell you this. I recently came upon a video on TikTok of a girl named Brittany Jade, and she is outing the treatment center that she used to work for. So they hired her, and she had 10 months sober. They started her out at $60,000 a year, and she didn't know that they wanted her to get people into treatment. She said it wasn't in her contract. 3 months later, they upped her pay to $90,000 a year. They fired her because she wasn't bringing in patients, clients, admits. So when a treatment center hires an influencer like Brittany Jade, it's because they believe that they'll have access to that person's following. Okay? Just because a person has 1 million followers does not mean that they can connect with their followers on a level to that they trust them to go to treatment. Okay, just because somebody has 1 million followers doesn't mean those followers are going to convert to patients or to admits. Getting people into treatment is hard fucking work. Have you ever talked to somebody that is using drugs who called you and said, I want to go to rehab, and walked them through the whole process from beginning to end till they get into the door of a treatment center? Honey, it's up, down, all around, and you never know what's going to happen. They could run off at the last minute and never come back. It is a whole ass fucking production. A whole ass fucking production. It is hard work. And so that's why I'm so grateful I don't have to do that shit. A lot of these places, when they hire on people like that, they expect them, okay? They expect them to bring them patients, you know? And so that's why, like, the doctor I work for, I do not have to bring patients in. I do not have to meet a quota. There is no number of people I have to bring in at all. My job is to answer the phones, schedule patients, schedule new patients, answer the phones on nights and weekends. If somebody's going through withdrawal, I'm on the phone with them as long as it takes for them to get through with withdrawal. I'm their peer support, okay? And so I don't have to do any kind of putting people into rehab at all. And so I don't know I don't know why people believe that. I think it's because, like, I have connections with treatment centers, maybe. I don't know. And yeah, Dr. B would never expect me to do that. And the way, when I started working with Dr. B, he was so happy with me and my performance working for him. He's never, ever been disappointed in me at all. And it's because I do a really good job. I manage all of his social medias. I manage all of his email accounts. I manage everything for him, and I do a damn good job. I trust him, and I believe in the treatment that he provides people. Okay? I believe that he truly cares about people because I have seen him care for people. I have asked him, will you please scholarship this person into our MAP program? They don't have enough money to pay for their first appointment. Do you think are they serious about their recovery, Nicole? Are you willing to put your name on them? Yes. Okay. Bring them in. They ain't got to pay nothing. Okay? So I know from the heart of my heart that he is a good person and that he wants to help people, you know? And so if I was ever working for a place that told me I had to get people in to treatment or I wouldn't have a job, I wouldn't work for them. My partnership with Recovery Delivered is a partnership. There's months where I haven't had anybody go through my link for Recovery Delivered. And then there's months where so many people went through my link, you know, and it is what it is. It's either way. And I've been very fortunate to find people in the recovery space who are good people, y'all, who don't take advantage of people. So I wanted to say that because I had saw a comment on my on here about that, and I wanted to say something about that. But those kind of people who are expecting you to do things like that, those are toxic fucking people in the treatment industry. And there's a lot more people like that who all they care about is you as a dollar sign. Okay? So you have to be very mindful when you're searching out help. Okay? That's why I'm such a huge advocate for medication-assisted treatment. because I'm on Suboxone and it saved my fucking life. And I believe in it 100%. I believe that if you get on subs, you get into therapy, and you get serious about your sobriety, that sky's the limit for you. Sky's the fucking limit. Excuse me. And that's why I'm such a big advocate for Suboxone, because it enables people to be able to go through their withdrawal, get comfortable and stabilized, and not have to go into like a 30-day treatment center. You know what I mean? Because I feel like most 30-day residential treatment centers are predatory. Just calling it like I see it. Now, I know a lot of you guys are on medication-assisted treatment, and maybe you're ashamed to tell your family. Maybe you're ashamed to tell your family. Maybe you have been on it and you don't want to tell them because you're afraid of what they might say. This is what I believe, okay? And this is what I always tell everybody. I believe that if your family doesn't support your decision to be on medication-assisted treatment, then you don't need their motherfucking support anyway. 9 times out of 10, when somebody doesn't support medication-assisted treatment, it's because they had a bad experience with it. They're just completely uneducated and don't understand it, and are not willing to be educated or understand it. Most people I see that have a bad taste in their mouth about Suboxone, it's because they were on Suboxone, they fucked up and didn't listen to their doctor, and they, went out, jumped off cold turkey, and had the most miserable withdrawal of their whole entire lives. And that's what's going to happen if you're going to go out there and jump off cold turkey. You're going to be hurting. And I just believe that having multiple paths to recovery is important. That's why I support you guys that are on medical marijuana. That's why I support those of you guys that are using Kratom, okay? Because I believe that if you're using something to help you in a therapeutic way, and it's helping you to change your life and be a better human being, then who am I to judge you on what that is? You know what I'm saying? The only thing I can do is worry about what helps me and what works for me. I know myself. I tried the medical marijuana route, and you want to know what happened? I couldn't stop eating, motherfuckers. I couldn't stop eating. I was a glutton. I was literally eating a whole pizza, and I'm literally dying. I ate a whole thing of lasagna because I was high on edibles. So that's why I can't do medical marijuana, because it makes me sick. It makes me sick. But I know a lot of you guys use it for like pain and anxiety and that kind of thing. I just think it's really important, if you are using it, to make sure that you're not leaning on it as like not checking out of life with it. You know what I'm saying? Because when we get sober, I believe that recovery is building a life that you don't want to escape. Okay? I believe that recovery is living a life that you no longer want to check out of. You want to be present, And so if you're somebody who's constantly checking out, being stoned out of your mind, like, that's not healthy for you, So that's just my opinion on what I believe. Is it really snowing there? People get upset with me because I say that, but it's not. Here's the thing. The only time people get upset is when they know that they feel convicted. Okay? When I'm talking about these things, the conviction comes over them because they say, wait a second, I'm staying stoned out. Maybe, and the message is going to them, and they get upset with me. And I'm not judging you. I'm just telling you, like, build a life that you don't want to escape anymore. Build a life that you love and that you enjoy and that you don't have to be not present in, Yeah, so somebody keeps calling me on my phone, and I don't know who it is on this phone I'm on right now. From Illinois, Chicago, Illinois. Yeah, Nat. And you know what? I commend you for being able to admit that. I was doing the same thing with edibles. And I would take an edible and I would be so stoned and I would sleep and eat the whole time. You know, it didn't matter if it was sativa, it didn't matter if it was indica, it didn't matter what blend it was. Okay? It was fucking put my ass out. You know what I mean? Hey Brittany, what's up, girl? I don't know. I have to look on the phone to see the. Let me see. Hold on. Hold on, guys. Let me see. Let me text this person. Okay. We'll see what happens. I don't know who that is. Okay. And plus, I got this new phone number, so I don't know who that person. This phone right here in my hand is new. The one that I'm on right now for filming is not. Hey, Cindy, what's up, bestie? How long did it taper? How long did it take for you to taper down to a small dose of subs you're doing now? Girl, 2 years, 2.5 years almost. And this is why. I did the S23 Ultra. The reason why it took so long was because I would go down and I would be doing so good, and then I would go back up. So I was on 12 milligrams. I dropped down to 10 milligrams. I did that. I dropped down to 10, and I was at 10 milligrams for 90 days. The reason it was 90 days is because I was only seeing my doctor quarterly. So I was only dropping every quarter, okay? And so I dropped every quarter 2 milligrams until I got to 6 milligrams. Once I got to 6 milligrams, then I started dropping 1 milligram every quarter. But what happened was when I got down to 4 milligrams, I would go back up to 6. Then I would go back down to 4, then down to 3, then back up to 5. And it was like back and forth, right? So I finally got down to 0.5 milligram. Okay. I was at 0.5 milligram and I said, fuck it. And I jumped down to 1/4 milligram. And I hadn't been at 1/4 milligram for a week. And I said, fuck it even harder. And I jumped completely off. And I documented my withdrawal here on YouTube. And my withdrawal was not that bad. It was manageable. But what I struggled with, and the reason why I got back on the 1/4 milligram to it's about 0.5 milligram now. I don't just take the 1/4. I had to go up a little bit because I couldn't sleep at night. It's because of my depression. I was so depressed, like I was suicidally depressed. And I was miserable. And I was like, if taking a little tiny sliver of Suboxone helps me to not feel suicidal, bitch, give me that damn Suboxone. And so I take a little itty bitty piece and I try to take it in the evening time. So that way it's like in me. And then the morning, I don't take it in the morning. I wait until the evening. So that way I sleep better. And here's the thing. Like with tapering, it's so important to listen to your body. And like, if you're not feeling confident about dropping down the next drop, that's okay. Who are you rushing against? Who are you competing with? It's just you, baby. So if you're on 7 milligrams and you're about to drop down to 6 and you don't feel like you should, that's okay. Don't do it. You know what I mean? Just pause your taper there and chill for a while. Listen to your body. Do not watch other people's taper journeys. Do not go on YouTube and research theirs and watch their withdrawal, because what I have noticed about people, and the only reason I know this is because I talk to people all day long who are trying to come off of Suboxone or trying to come off benzos. And so all day long, I talk to people that are going through that, and they tell me, well, I was Googling, or I was watching so and so. And the moment they say that, that's when oh, hell no. I check out, because I'm like, why are you watching them? You're comparing yourself. You're comparing your journey to theirs, is what you're doing. And your journey's not going to be like theirs. You're not them. You know? So, yeah. I had the way I knew that I was ready when I was ready to taper was I was forgetting to take my medication. I was forgetting to take my medicine. It wasn't the center of my universe anymore. For a long time, dosing my Suboxone was the center of my day. It was like what kept me on the right path. Okay, I gotta take my medicine, you know? And I heavily relied on it. Like, it was almost like an obsession, kind of. And so when I stopped obsessing so much about it, I felt like I started forgetting about it, which was a great feeling, because it used to be the direct opposite. It used to be like it ruined my days sometimes, because I would be thinking about that, you know? And so, and not because I was getting high from it at all. At all. It would just because I knew that when I took my Suboxone, I was safe. And that's how I've always felt. Ever since I got on Suboxone, I've always treated it as a safety net. I call it having full coverage insurance on a car. Because to me, if being on subs is like having full coverage. If I get into a fender bender, I know I have my subs to fall back on. You know, I know that Suboxone is going to protect me. And it has done that for me. I've never relapsed before, especially not on opioids, because I'm scared as hell of buying opioids off the street, you know? Hold on, you guys. I gotta text this person. Every 90 days course. So sorry, y'all. That was somebody wanting help with a benzotaper. So, my doctor has me at a stop because I just got a lot going on. Yeah, y'all, Cindy's son had just got a diagnosis that is really hard. Like, he had been really struggling with thoughts of suicide and just like really being depressed. And they diagnosed him with like depression and stuff like that, and schizophrenia, which I don't think that's going to be his forever diagnosis. I think that they're just trying to figure out what's going on. I really don't think that I don't know. There's different kinds of schizophrenia, I guess, but I just don't think that that's going to be his forever diagnosis. Because I know when my sister was younger, you guys, and she got diagnosed with her bipolar, they gave her bipolar, ASPD, oppositional defiance disorder. What else? I can't remember all of it. It was a lot of disorders. Okay, when she got from a teenager to when she got to adulthood, and so I believe that they're just trying to find the right medication for your son, Cindy, for real, for real. Mental health is so fucking important, you guys. And if you're ever feeling like you're suicidal or you can't go another day, you need to reach out for help and not freaking put that shit off, okay? Because what happens is we think, oh, I can take it. I'll be fine. I don't want to bother anybody. I don't want to burden anybody with my life, right? It's not a burden. You're not burdening anybody. You're not burdening anybody, okay? People are here to help. That's what they're here for. You know what I mean? That's what they do for a living. That's why they do the things that they do, is because they do enjoy helping people. You know, there's people who are like me who like really like to help, you know? Yeah, you probably got diagnosed after being high for so many years. And that was what they tried to do to me with CPS. They tried to diagnose me with bipolar disorder, but I'm not bipolar. Not that I care if I was diagnosed with it, but they were going off of my mania and everything that I was like when I was high. And I'm just not a manic person. I know I seem like I have a lot of energy and all that kind of stuff, and people always say that to me online. But I'm 99.9% of the time, I'm chilling at this house. Ask my husband. I don't like going out a lot of places. I don't like being up in public. I like to just chill out. I'm a homebody. Hold on, y'all. At Gmail with a detailed description of your situation and medications you're currently taking. Then I will have Ari give you a call and get you on his schedule. Okay, there we go. Sorry about that, y'all. So we're talking about just general toxic people in our lives that we keep around us, maybe people that don't support us in our recovery, people that don't support MAT, people believe that, just anything you guys want to talk about. We kind of got off topic, but we just been chit-chatting. This is my new favorite lipstick, my new favorite lip gloss. Let me show y'all.
Can I have your computer?
Yeah, baby, go. You're welcome. You need to take a shower tonight, Nathaniel. Okay? Okay, good. Well, hell's bells. Hey, Pamela. So these are the NARS oil-infused lip tints, and this color is High Security. Watch.
Let's plug it in. You plug it in on the side, and they're going to run your cord.
Hey, Beryl. What's up? Okay. So I made a video, y'all, with all my favorite lip glosses. As you can see, it's just like a tinted lip gloss. And it's up on my channel right now if you guys want to check it out. But it's all my favorite lip glosses. I actually have them right here because I was sharing them all with you guys. But the shades that I wear the most are shades like this. They're like mauvey, rosy shades. But they all have like a sheerness to them. Because I do not like sticky, and I do not like gloopy, and I do not like super pigmented lip products because I don't have lip injections, okay? So a lot of times my lip products go all over my mouth. And so, yeah. Let me show y'all. Oh, I use this this is how you know I love it. I use this one completely up. Yep, it's gone. Those are all my favorite ones in their colors. They're the same. So crazy. Uh, yeah, barrel racing lover, so I call you Barrel. Yeah, so I just don't like wearing like goopy ass fucking lip glosses. Do you know what I'm saying? Okay. I've heard those tart juicy tubes are good, or juicy ones are really good. So what I've been trying to do, y'all, is I'm trying to share with you guys different things that I enjoy, like in my life. I took out my little studs that I got pierced with, and I put these in, because those ones were bothering me, dude. Yeah, that's why I like it. I like those a lot. I just got that NARS one. Um, I know, Carrie. I saw that you had messaged. I just have been on here, honey. Couple days, like a month ago. You're behind the times, Carrie. Nothing bad happened. I was on Luke's channel. We had done a live, and while I was on the live, y'all, somebody had come into the chat and said something about my boss, asking if my boss knew about my shenanigans. We're about to do skincare, and when they did that, I got pissed and I started popping off, because that's one thing that you don't come in and threaten me about is my livelihood. And so I had to do a little lesson in what's not acceptable and what is acceptable. Because people are dumb as fuck on the internet, and they think because we have opposite opinions, that it means we attack people and call their jobs and get them in trouble with their livelihood, which is so fucking ridiculous. And so that's what happened over on Luke's channel, and I was fucking telling people off. And also Jen had came into the chat and I called her a snake. Just another day and another live stream for Nicole. Like I don't mince words, and whenever I feel a certain way, I'm not going to change up on you. Like, I'm not going to flip-flop, And so I would rather know somebody like me who just says it straight to my face than to be with somebody who is fake and two-faced, So that's all. It's all over and done with now. Hopefully everybody will move past it and get on with their lives. I know the people over on Reddit won't, because that's all they do all day long is talk about other people. But I'm talking about us over here on our recovery channel, Yeah, he was. And that's why I'm not like that. Like, why would you do that, dude? We were just literally talking about, I was really taken aback when he did that. If you want to know the truth, I was like, ugh, are you scared? Well, you scared. But that's okay, Some people are just like that. I'm not like that, okay? Like, if I said something about you, I'm going to say it to your face. See you later, Barrel Racing. Love ya. Thanks for coming in, baby. You know what I'm saying? And I think that you guys respect me for that. I respect myself for that. I don't like it when people are like, and then when you come around, they're like, oh, hey, girl. No, girl, just carry on. Carry on talking shit about me. It's okay. You know? Why are we acting like we like each other? You know what I'm saying? So that's what happened. It's not a big deal. Not a big deal at all. I just want to move on past that because people are starting to put a lot of effort into doing shit that I don't support. I don't support doxing people. I don't support calling people's jobs. I don't support talking about CPS and calling CPS. I don't support talking to people's baby mamas and daddies and sisters and brothers and all that crazy shit. That's crazy to me. You know, you don't bring people's family into bullshit on the internet. You know? And so I just don't want to be a part of that. So I'm trying to distance myself from all of it. And like I said in my video earlier, I might react to some of her videos in the future. I don't know, but I'm not going to be calling people's jobs or talking about their kids and shit like that, And that's what was starting to happen, And I just don't want to be a part of that. And I've always been like this. Like, I don't put up with that kind of stuff. Because these are people's real lives, you guys. Like, conspiring to get people's kids taken away and stuff, like, that's crazy. And it really shows you, though. It really shows you who people truly, truly are. With friends like that, who needs enemies, right? With friends like that, who needs enemies? Who's Dylan? Do I know Dylan? I just found this girl, y'all. Her name is Selfie Queen Cindy. And she's Hispanic. Somebody said Puerto Rican, I think. And I really like her. I was watching her earlier. And I dig her. Oh, Dylan. I know who Dylan is. Never mind. Fentanyl. Storytime guy, right? Something about fentanyl is what his channel is about, right? Are you talking about Ryan Brooke? Or there's two Ryans that passed away. Ryan Leone and then this other guy named Ryan who basically started the recovery community here on YouTube. Go eat some bread, frogs. Okay, there we go. Yeah, I just found her channel. I didn't know about her. But those are the kind of people I like, is people who are straight up, And she seems like that kind of person. This stuff burns. I put that, the stuff I just put on my skin was the Halo Pharmacy AA. I'll show y'all. Honeymoon Glow AHA Resurfacing Night Serum with hydrating honey and gentle flower acids. And it stings. But it's good. So that's it. I'm not going to do a whole bunch to my skin tonight because I'll be doing too many products and then I'm like cooking my skin, Yeah. Totally. I mean, you will never catch me conspiring on text messages with people to get people's kids taken away. Okay? That is low down. And when I see stuff like that, I don't want no part of anything you got going on. You understand? That is fucked up. And because I've been through CPS and I know how fucking low down their asses are, it is terrible, okay? Terrible. I wouldn't wish it on my worst enemy. And like I said, Jessica's not even, I don't hate her. She's not even an enemy of mine, y'all. I just don't agree with her, with what she does, But she's not like, somebody that I'm like gunning for or something. I don't really have people that I'm like that with. Yeah, Carrie. Yeah. Crazy, huh? One of y'all telling me after. Coralie, are you in here? Yeah, I like her too. I'm gonna watch some of her content that's not about all this bullshit because I think that she seems like pretty level-headed.
Are these dirty?
Those are clean. You can change the stuff into the dryer.
I know, I am.
This guy has aimbot. He literally shot completely different direction.
Yeah, I like it too. That fucking pharmacy shit is good. No, that's Luke, Kimmy.
Must have been.
A primer, like before makeup? Is that what you're talking about? Before I put on my makeup, I put on this glow screen by Supergoop. And then I put on the Charlotte Tilbury glowy shit too. That's it. I don't use like pore blocking primers or anything like that. I like my skin to be super moisturized. So I put on the Clinique moisturizing gel, then I put on this, and then I put on this Charlotte Tilbury. Then I use a concealer that is the NARS Pot Concealer, this one. And then I use the Creamy Radiant Concealer underneath my eyes with a cream or blush of some kind, which I've been using the Rare Beauty ones lately. And then some bronzer from Fenty Beauty and put a little bit of powder on it and then do my eye makeup. But my skin has been doing really good. Like it hasn't been breaking out. And that's because of my skincare. Like I keep my skincare going really, really, really well. You know, I saw that, was it Bobbi Brown? There was some kind of like, God, what was it called? I can't remember. I'll have to remember. Hey, Cindy, we were just talking about you. Your ears must have been burning. I was just telling them I just found another person in the recovery community named Cindy, and I was watching her content. And I like people, like I said, you guys, who are straight up, excuse me, my eye, who don't like, I just want people to be straight up and be real, you know? And so whenever I run into situations where people are being like flip-floppy and whatever way they are being, I don't like that. I don't want to be a part of that, you know? And I'm serious about sobriety, for real. I'm not just over here fucking saying I'm sober for the fucking sake of saying I'm sober. You know, I worked my ass off to get to where I'm at today. I fought my fucking tooth and nail to get my son back, you know? And I have a job where I work with people in addiction, and I'm proud of that, you know? It's not something that I just think is like not a big deal. It's a huge deal to me. And I love working and doing my job, and that's why I take things so seriously when people who are trolling or who are just saying things like, I'm going to call your job, or that's fucking crazy. Like, that's just not acceptable. And that will never, ever happen to anyone here in my chat. Because the minute something like that happens, you're out of here. You're blocked. You're fucking removed from the building. Because we can all have like different opinions and chat and talk about things without freaking doing shit like that. You know what I mean? That's crazy shit. So, okay, that's what I was gonna do. I don't know why people do that shit. It's crazy. It's crazy to me. Okay, so this guy had made a video on TikTok, and he was saying that Suboxone is not working to help people that are on this new fentanyl xylazine mix, right? And I don't think it's that Suboxone's not working. It's that fentanyl is sticking in people's systems for longer now, right? And so it takes longer for them to go into withdrawal, and it takes more of medication to get them out of withdrawal to feeling better, you know? And so it's not that it doesn't work, it's that it just takes more and longer, you know? I be paying attention to stuff like that because I had somebody messaging me on Facebook saying, did you hear, Narcan doesn't work on the fentanyl, xylazine. Well, it doesn't work on xylazine because xylazine is an opioid. It's a tranquilizer, but it reverses your overdose from fentanyl. It's just that when you're tranquilized, you need oxygen. So they take you out of an overdose, right? And then you're still tranquilized, like, so they have to give you the oxygen mask to help you to not stop breathing. I still suppose, again, I don't know. I've never done xylazine dope. Thank God. That dope wasn't around whenever I was getting high, honey. I wouldn't be alive. It is no joke. You guys can't even experiment with drugs anymore these days. You go outside and you buy some drugs off the street and you're dead. It's a fucking death sentence. You know, it's not a fucking joking matter. That's another reason why I get a little upset, because I feel like it's super important for people to understand, like, it's not a game. Like, if you're somebody who's trying to get sober, you need to surround yourself with people who are doing the sober thing. You need to surround yourself with people who are uplifting you and encouraging your recovery, not people who are going against that, right? It's just, it's too hard to do it on our own. I mean, imagine trying to keep people around that are not encouraging that. And I don't think, you know, just because I get to a certain point in my sobriety doesn't mean, oh, look at me, I can hang out with drug addicts that are using drugs now. I haven't forgotten where I came from, but I got common fucking sense, okay? Common sense. And so I don't keep people at my house who are getting fucked up, because there's only one reason why you keep people at your house who are getting fucked up. And that's because you got a reservation to get fucked up. Okay? When my husband relapsed in 2020, that was the hardest shit I've ever been through in my whole entire life. Okay? But I didn't get high. I stayed sober, you know? And so, I just feel like, damn, it's like, we got to send a message to people. We can't be fucking giving you guys a wishy-washy message where we're like, oh yeah, it's okay, do this. You guys, it's so serious out there and people are dying. And I don't want you guys to die. I don't want you guys to go out there one day and say, oh, Nicole said it's not a big deal if I do this, that, and the third. No, it is a big deal. I heard that, Pamela, the Jeffree Star one. But anyway, I'm going to get off here, y'all. I've been on here for an hour. I just want to come on here and hang out with y'all and talk about recovery, because I know we have been talking about that bullshit for a while, and I just wanted to move on from that and do recovery with you guys, okay? But I love you guys. I'm going to get Nate in the shower and get myself into some comfortable clothes and just chill out and hang out, okay? Yeah, I heard what you're talking about, Pamela. You guys go look it up. Bye, Queen. Go look it up online. She's right, though. I don't know if it's like, it's that fake makeup, you know? Hey, Becky. That's what I'm talking about. It was a fast hour, wasn't it? Y'all don't understand. Like, people like these 10-minute videos that just go like that, and I'll have to be on here for at least 45 minutes. You know what I'm saying? It takes me a good 20 minutes to get into the swing of things when I'm talking, you know, when I get on a good roll. And so, what do y'all think about my thumbnails? I've been improving my thumbnails, huh? Let me know. Comment on my shit and let me know, okay? Yeah, girl, I just did, Cindy, I just did a video about my new favorite lip glosses, and it's up on my channel underneath the video section. Most of my videos are live, but that one was pre-recorded. But I have an unhealthy obsession with lip glosses, and so I always have a lip gloss, and I'm always reapplying it all throughout my videos. So you will always catch me with a lip gloss or 75, okay? And you will always catch me with, where's my co-host at? Co-host. Paco, quit hiding out. You'll always catch me with my co-host right there. That's Paco. Right, baby? I love you. And he's always behind me during the show, so you can see his little ears poking out sometimes back there. But I love you guys. I'll see y'all tomorrow. I'll be on probably around 10:30, 11 o'clock to do makeup and shit like that, okay? Okay. I love y'all. Have a good night. Be good, everybody. Okie dokie.